Hello and welcome to this tutorial, or kind of tutorial, just showing you how it's done, or how I do it, not how it's done. There's no definitive way to do music as an art form. But I'm Jeff Benzos, or my real name's Lewis Appleton, and I've been using this program for a few years now, probably about 5 or 6 years, and I've really been into. And I've just released an EP called Runescape. It's an EP that is taken the old crappy sounding MIDIs from old school Runescape, and a lot of them are still used, or kind of used, and taking it and using real instrument samples, especially Contact, and just making it sound really good, or in my opinion, as good as I can get it, but still keeping the classic Runescape feel to it. It's like I haven't changed it too much, and I want to leave the scores pretty much the same, because otherwise it's not a remaster, it's a remix, and I put my own little twist on it, but I don't want to modify it too much away from the original, the original bit of work, because it was very, very good composition, and I don't want to. I still want to give people that idea of the old music. But basically, this is a template that I've made, and it has all of the instruments. Well, I'll start with the instruments. So all of these are Contact, and they're unloaded, otherwise they'll completely crash when you open it. And these are huge as well, absolutely huge. But I've got the strings here, your woodwind, your brass, percussion, and then like tuned percussion, and then the miscellaneous or other. And I know these aren't there's not many groups, and there's not like every single instrument, but these are the ones that I use most often, or the ones that come up most often in the Runescape tracks. So this saves so much time, and I'll put the link in the description of a download for this, because it's it's very handy to be able to use. So yeah, and then it's color coded, which is brilliant. I don't know if it helps you work with it. It certainly does me. And we've got all the empty drum buses here for basically putting up this. This is FPC. It's a brilliant drum machine, and it comes with FL. And all of the things I use in here are I can do a template with FabFilter plugins and without. I think I only use the limiter and the reverb and delay. So I'll do one without and one with, because FabFilter is absolutely fab. Mind the dodgy pun. Right, so that was the instruments. We're going to move on to the template of the mixer. I haven't done any for the playlist, because that's kind of like you add your own, and it doesn't take too long to organize that. So it's better to just do that on as you do it, or when you sequence the track. All right, so we've got. I'll make this full screen. So we've got the drum master, strings, woodwind, brass, percussion, timed percussion, and miscellaneous, and the reverb and delay. You can do this however you want, but this is how I've got it. And sometimes, even though you've got the pizzicato and the harp and the violin might be leads, so I might take those out and put them in their own bus, so I can use sidechaining and all that fancy stuff. So yeah, we've got the drums. You've got your strings, and all of these go. So you can see on the bottom there, they go into the bus here. They're channeled into the bus. So all of that audio signal from here, all of these audio signals will flow into this single bus and then to the master. So you can put compression on this, and it will affect everything. Just saves time, and it can help the individual buses be more transparent as well. So okay, and then you got your woodwind, brass, tuned percussion, and your miscellaneous, and then we've got the drum reverb, which is like a I haven't got anything on here because you can add your own, or because drum reverb's very like specific to the genre, so you can just whack your own in. It won't take long, but the channel's there, and it's all you have to do is, well, we'll go through that later, but yeah, you got drum reverb and then your standard reverb, which is like a wider reverb, and it's for the majority of your instruments, just to give a bit of body to your mix. And a good recommendation is the delay, the decay time of the reverb. You want it to be, so if you have a very fast track, say 150 or 160 odd, you want it to be a shorter decay. Otherwise it will drown out too much, and it's too long. It will you've got too many different notes and it'll be clashing together, so you don't really want that unless it's the vibe you're trying to give. And then for the slower ones, you can have a longer decay time, just to give it that spacey vibe, that kind of like ambient kind of vibe. And also you can use more than one reverb channel, but I like to keep it to one or two, because you got to think about it this way. You're not going to be like, when you record a choir or an orchestra, you don't record them all in different rooms, do you? You have the mic set up so you record it all in one room, and so because they're in one room, they'll have one kind of color of reverb or one style of reverb, and it helps keep your mix more realistic and more genuine sounding. Okay, so that's basically the mixer setup. It's fairly self-explanatory, but it just makes it a lot quicker because you can just link stuff to this and go. And a lot of these are already linked, so it just makes it loads quicker. So this is essentially the introduction. The next time will be, I personally find it easy to split all of the different tracks of the MIDI file into their separate MIDI files, so I can just drag and drop them in, and it doesn't come, because with like importing the whole MIDI into FL, I'll show you that now actually. So if I go into my samples, bear in mind RuneScape has so many tracks. I'll just do a random one, Intrepid. Okay, and you'll see what I'm talking about, because the MIDI files have like kind of built-in automation. I know it's probably not, it probably is, for like volume panning, and sometimes that's handy, so you can keep like an eye out, or try and like review it before you move it into the other things, so you can kind of see what's going on. You can use, because you don't want like their automation and yours kind of fighting for dominance, so that's something you need to keep in mind. So it will come in with all of these, and you can see on the tempo, and it's not for all of them, but it will have an automation for a stable tempo, but some of them do move about. So yeah, and then you can see if I pop it on here, this one doesn't have it, but you can imagine, so you see like similar to the tempo one, like this, it would have that kind of shape under here, and that would decide the automations and the volume and panning, etc. So it's one way to just start from scratch, just have the notes and the velocities and stuff like that. So yeah, that's why. And also it's just one track, so it makes it easier to work with. I know you can go and change and replace these, but you can't. And also another reason is because if you split them up prior, you can drag and drop them into your template, and it makes the whole experience so much faster, because you start with this, so you've got to change each thing to color, and you can add separators, and it's just carnage. It just takes too long, especially when you've got to try and do a whole album worth of this as well. One song, yeah, I mean, you can use my template, of course, but one song you can just kind of work from the ground up. But if you're going to do a lot of work, I'd highly recommend making a template or getting mine. And you don't have to stick to my template. You can obviously modify it to your needs. So yeah, this is pretty much the introduction of what you're going to be seeing. You're going to be seeing the splitting of the MIDIs, the instrument choice, and like how you want the instruments to sound, and then it will be drums and percussion, and then sorting that out, and then mixing, and then like mixing and automation, and it all comes under the same. So that'll probably be like 2 or 3 episodes, and then finally it'll be mastering it, and pretty much it. Probably mastering it, then maybe, yeah, I think that's the last thing. We could maybe have a conclusion, or like overview of what's gone on, and we can maybe go back and just like, and then maybe break down the song in the other way, and you can see all the different parts and see how it all works together. So we'll see. But yeah, this is the end of episode 1. I'm probably gonna be doing these in chunks, and even if I do it all in one go, I'll release it in chunks anyway. So make sure you subscribe and press that bell icon for new music as well. Go check out Runescape, the EP, and you'll be notified for new music and these tutorials and any other stuff I put on my YouTube. Feel free to follow or like Jeff Benzos on Facebook. It's Jeff Benzos Music on Twitter, and it's 1704 Lewis on Instagram, but that should be changing soon, so check out the description or the Facebook page. Thank you very much, and you have a brilliant day, and use this to get creative. Yeah, cheers, thank you very much.